Our last episode talked with the budget besties about how we can make a budget, not be so afraid of a budget, and really use it to then be able to prioritize what we're spending our money on, including our health and wellness. And this week, I wanted to follow up on that because it's something I've been thinking about and just seeing in some of my patients, potential patients, the thought around money and how we're spending our money. For one, I had a patient who was investing in some peptides who, she hadn't said it to me initially, but then she came back and was like, you know what? I had this realization that I was feeling like, am I worth it? And then she was luckily able to decide, absolutely, I'm of course worth it. And, this type of investment is absolutely worth for her, feeling energetic. This is her biggest concern, feeling just more alive in her body. And that's really important to her. That's her primary concern. And so she was able to have that process and share that with me. And that, among some other experiences, was something to kind of wake me up to what is really impacting our decisions with our health. And I think this honestly is a huge barrier to a lot of women, especially getting to the care that they need and that they deserve, because they're thinking, oh, but I have, we have all these other costs and I have to take care of everyone else. And the way that they're investing in themselves is not quite the way that they invest in other things. And I think there are a lot of things that go into that. There are a lot of social constructs that tell us, you should be selfless. You should be worrying about other people, not yourself. You shouldn't be, selfish and spend money on yourself when, it could be used for other things. There's so many different narratives that I think get then embedded in our minds, in our bodies, and then come out even if we're not aware of them. So I wanted to speak to that here. So if you're having this current narrative, that you can be aware of it. Because I think, awareness is such an important first step with addressing any sort of roadblock. And it may not be that, investing in a certain way is going to be appropriate for you still. But I think having an honest conversation with yourself and a very clear conversation about what's really holding me back, what is really going to be the most important thing to me right now, that can give you the clarity that you need to either invest in something or to confidently not invest in something and say, you know what? No, this really isn't the thing that I want or need right now. I'd rather put my time, my energy, my money somewhere else. Because also, if you didn't listen to last week's podcast, please go back and listen to it. It was a great one. But one of the things we talked about is also what is luxury to us? What is valuable? And when it comes down to it, at the end of the day, I think for most of us, it isn't just money. In fact, some things are more valuable than money to us, even though we need money to live. Our time is so precious and so valuable to so many of us. We're so busy that time is literally our most precious commodity. Our energy as well, especially for women who are busy, who are in business, who have a family, who are doing these other things, taking things on for other people, that our energy, our peace of mind, our clarity of thinking is incredibly valuable. That's something that I've learned for myself when it comes to my work. If I'm not 100% on and my brain is not clearly thinking, then it definitely impairs how I'm working and arguably could absolutely impact my income as well. Because if people are seeing me, and thinking, well, she doesn't really know what she's talking about, she's kind of out of it or something, then that is going to absolutely impact my bottom line too as a business owner. So all of this to say, I think this is a really important thing to have some awareness around and maybe do some thought behind, meaning maybe journaling, maybe doing some meditation or some breath work and thinking about feeling into your body and feeling, is there a part of me that is feeling like, well, you don't deserve this though, or, you're not worth investing in. This isn't right for you. Like you shouldn't be doing this, something like that. It's really interesting the things that can come up when we dig deep. And sometimes it's this weird childhood thing that we're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that I identified with that anymore. But here it is showing up, 20, 30, 50 years later. So something to be really aware of. And again, this isn't, we should just spend frivolously and of course you're worth every dollar in the world. Absolutely invest in yourself. But right, it doesn't mean that we have to spend frivolously and, you know, invest in a way that isn't clear and aligned with our goals. We shouldn't just be going out and getting the Gucci handbag because we just want to. It's really the point that I'm trying to drive home is, if we are in intention with our money, our time, our energy, then we are more able to put the investment where it needs to be. What do we need to invest our time in? What's really going to be the thing that we don't want to invest our time in? What is an energy suck that is just draining us? Is it really worth it? I had another patient this week who literally said to me, my job is killing me, but I need it to live. And I was like, wow, that really struck me that she, on the weekends when she's off work, she feels great. But when she is working, she feels like she's in this frustrating, stuck spot because of the stress that goes along with her work, her schedule, all of the bad foods that people bring into the office and things like that. She just feels so frustrated with where she is. And she's trying to figure out what she can do because she's just at this big crossroads with that. So think about this for yourself. Maybe, again, get your journal out, take a few minutes to, even just sit quietly and breathe, kind of feel into our body. If you have a breathwork practice, if you have a meditation practice, this can be a great thing to pair with that to just get really clear for yourself.